I wanted to give you an opportunity to clean your name up. If this how you want
to clear my name?
Chantel, listen. If this how you
I need to clear my name up?
Girl, stop.
Do you?
Fans are reeling after shocking allegations have surfaced that Jackie Tay, the reality TV matriarch, was secretly dating her daughter's ex-boyfriend, according to insider whispers. The drama peaked when Jackie's teenage daughter confronted her mom in a heated exchange that took a violent turn. Emotions ran high as the young woman claimed she found her mother and ex locked in a passionate embrace, and that the argument turned physical when she demanded answers. The family was left divided when rumors emerged of a live phone call that captured Jackie shoving her daughter, sending the girl tumbling onto a couch. Eyewitnesses have leaked blurry images of raised hands and tear-streaked faces, fueling speculation that this is no ordinary mother-daughter spat. Sources describe an eerie silence at dinner tables ever since, with baby monitors picking up sobs and angry whispers late into the night. Fans are shocked by the possibility that a mother would betray her own child's trust. And social media is ablaze with debate over whether the daughter's claims are a cry for attention or the truth laid bare. With loyalties torn and secrets exposed, this explosive feud looks set to fracture more than just family bonds. The tension had been simmering beneath the surface for weeks. But nobody saw the explosion coming, least of all Jackie. Her daughter Emma had noticed little things. The way her mother's phone lit up with messages at odd hours. The scent of a new cologne lingering in the kitchen long after anyone had visited. And most tellingly, the look of guilty pleasure on Jackie's face whenever Emma's ex, Ryan, was mentioned. Emma tried to shake it off at first, convincing herself that grown-ups deserved their secrets. But as whispers turned into rumors, she began to track her mother's movements, piecing together a story too wild to believe. Fans are shocked at the possibility that a devoted mom would betray her own child by dating her ex. And emotions ran high in Emma's heart as betrayal cut deeper than any breakup ever could. Average Thursday of the week before the showdown, Emma stayed late at school for extra art club. When she finally returned home, the house was dark and quiet. On tiptoe, she crept through the living room and froze at the sight of Jackie's silhouette in the kitchen, illuminated only by the glow of a phone screen. In a hushed voice, Emma caught her mother saying, "I miss you, Ryan." "This is harder than I thought." The words hit her like a punch. Ryan's name, the same name she'd whispered into pillows and torn social media streaks, now tumbled from her mother's lips as a private confession. For a heartbeat, she watched silently, disbelief mingling with heartbreak. Then the phone clicked shut, and Jackie pressed a hand to her mouth, her shoulders trembling with regret or fear. Emma couldn't tell which. Instead of confronting her then and there, Emma retreated to her room, mind racing. She texted her best friend, Maya, an unfiltered blow-by-blow of what she'd seen. Maya's response came almost instantly. "That's insane. Are you sure?" Emma sent the audio snippet she'd secretly recorded on her phone. Maya replied with a voice note, awestruck and furious, urging Emma to act. "You have to confront her," Maya insisted. The family was left divided before anyone realized it. The mother-daughter bond stretched so thin it threatened to snap. Emma's heart pounded as she realized this wasn't a simple quarrel. It was a betrayal with deep roots in her own history with Ryan. That night, the living room became a battlefield. Jackie was curled on the couch, flipping through old photos. Albums of Emma's childhood, presumably alone but looking more lost than nostalgic. Emma marched in, phone in hand, cheeks flushed with rage and tears. "Mom," she said, voice low but trembling. Jackie looked up, startled. "Emma, what?" Emma cut her off, tapping the record button. "Why are you dating him?" she demanded. Sliding the phone across the coffee table, Jackie's eyes darted to the screen, panic flooding her features. "This isn't what it looks like," she stammered, voice cracking. But Emma played back the snippet, and Jackie's own words boomed around the silent room, leaving no room for denial. As the recording ended, the emotional dam broke. Emma stormed forward, yanking Jackie's phone from her hand. "How could you?" she wailed, tears streaming. Jackie tried to stand, reaching out, but Emma recoiled. "Don't touch me," she snapped. "You knew what you were doing. You knew how much this would hurt me?" Jackie's calm facade shattered. She lunged to snatch her phone back. In the scuffle, Emma's elbow connected with her mother's arm, sending Jackie stumbling into the coffee table. A water glass toppled, shattering across the rug. For a moment, there was only shock. Jackie's breath caught. Fingers pressed to her arm where Emma's movement had left a faint bruise. Emma froze, guilt washing through her alongside the heartbreak. Neither had expected it to get physical. Yet suddenly the lines between victim and perpetrator blurred in their tears. In the fallout, the house fell into an uneasy hush. Jackie sank to the floor, gingerly cradling her arm as Emma stood over her, eyes wide with regret. "I'm sorry," Emma whispered, voice cracking. But Jackie's tears flowed freely. "I'm the one who should be sorry," she said, voice trembling with raw emotion. "I forgot that your heart matters more than my loneliness." The two sat amid broken glass and flickering lamplight, the remnants of their argument strewn around them like evidence. Emotions ran high as each processed the depth of the breach, furious at the betrayal. Jackie, drowning in guilt for risking her daughter's trust. While they sat in stunned silence, Emma's phone buzzed with incoming messages. Maya begged for updates. Group chat notifications from classmates jumped off the screen. It seemed someone had filmed a snippet of their argument from the sidewalk. Window the drama spilling onto social media in minutes. Fans are shocked by the explosive video clips showing a tearful Emma confronting her mother. And the family discovered their private pain had gone public. Shockwaves rippled through their friend circle. Some sympathized with Emma's right to be furious. Others defended Jackie's right to happiness. The family was left divided as whispers turned into pointed questions. Was Jackie using her daughter's ex as a rebound? Did Emma overreact by shoving her mother? The next morning, the wave of gossip crashed into their lives with full force. Jackie's phone rang nonstop with calls from producers wanting to film the fallout, friends wanting statements, and blogs demanding interviews. Emma woke to headlines screaming Jackie's scandalous rebound and daughter's shocking accusations. School was a war zone of furtive glances and whispered rumors as classmates shared links to every clip and speculation thread. Emma's locker had been plastered with post-it notes. "How could you?" Team Emma and even Team Jackie from students who saw her mother's pain. The betrayal that had once seemed secret now felt like a tag-long parasite, devouring every moment of calm. In the midst of the storm, Jackie called a family meeting in the living room, now cleared of broken glass but heavy with unspoken tension. Emma sat beside her father, who'd rushed home from a business trip, eyes shadowed with heartbreak. Jackie stood in front of them, voice shaking but determined. "No, I hurt you, Emma," she began, tears welling. "I made a mistake. Let my loneliness cloud my judgment." Emma's father nodded, placing a hand on Emma's shoulder. "We're here," he said quietly, "but we need the truth." Jackie took a shaky breath and confessed. "Ryan and I did spend time together. It started as comfort, but we crossed a line." Silence enveloped the room as the admission landed like a thunderclap. Though the confession was honest, it only opened fresh wounds. Emma's tears fell silently as the gravity of her mother's actions solidified. Friends of the family urged them to seek counseling. Fans posted polls on whether the family could recover. Emotions ran high when Emma's uncle posted a heartfelt tweet appealing for privacy, only to be met with the harsh reality that privacy was no longer theirs to control. The family was left divided, each member grappling with their own pain. Emma with her shattered trust, Jackie with her guilt, and Emma's father with the challenge of keeping a fractured home from falling apart entirely in a bid to regain control. Jackie proposed an intervention of sorts. She would step back from any relationship with Ryan and focus solely on repairing her bond with Emma. Emma listened, fists clenched, uncertain if she could ever forgive. But the gesture planted a seed of hope. As they sat in that charged living room, both mother and daughter realized that healing required more than apologies, required transparency, patience, and the willingness to face their own mistakes head-on. And though the path ahead was laden with uncertainty, they both understood that this confrontation, messy and painful as it was, might be the only way to salvage the love that had always bound them. They could find a way to trust each other. Again, the days after Jackie's confession felt like walking on glass. Every step risked reopening wounds that were barely beginning to scab over. Emma retreated to her room, barricading the door against the noise of whispered conversations in the kitchen. Outside, the world spun with gossip neighbors peered through. Hedges reporters circled their street, and social media buzzed with relentless commentary. Inside the house, though, the tension was suffocating. Jackie tiptoed around, trying to offer gentle smiles. But Emma's glare sliced through the air, reminding her mother that forgiveness was still a distant shore. Emotions ran high as Jackie wondered if she had broken her daughter beyond repair. Meanwhile, Ryan, Emma's extern fling, faced his own reckoning. He had shown up unannounced the next morning, hoping to explain himself, but Jackie refused to let him pass the front door. Emma watched through frosted glass as he paced on the porch, leaving angry voicemails and pleading texts. One message haunted Emma: "I never intended to hurt you. I only wanted someone who understood." She fought back tears and slammed the phone into its cradle. The family was left divided over whether to let Ryan back in or to banish him forever. At dinner, her father broke the silence. "We need to decide what's best," he said softly, "for all of us." Kima's mouth went dry. What was best looked like a jagged cliff. Jackie spent afternoons drafting apology letters, each more contrite than the last. She invited family friends to mediate, hoping that an impartial listener might guide the conversation back to love. But every meeting ended in frustration. One friend, a kindly woman from the book club, tried to soothe Emma. "Women make mistakes," she said gently. "Your mother still loves you." Emma shook her head. "This isn't about mistakes," she shot back. "It's about betrayal." The friend's eyes flickered with sadness as she realized Emma's heart had hardened. Jackie listened from the hallway, chest tightening as the door closed on another failed attempt at reconciliation. In the midst of this chaos, Emma's best friend became the fiercest ally. She camped out in Emma's bedroom, playing comforting music and supplying endless ice cream. "You deserve better," she told Emma, tucking her in at night. Yet Maya also pressed for action. "You can't just sit here," she urged one afternoon. "You have to stand up for yourself." Emma nodded, determination flickering behind her tears. Together, they crafted a message for a group chat with friends, asking them to stay out of family drama and to remember that Emma was more than a headline. The chat lit up with heart emojis and promises of loyalty, but Emma wondered if any of it could change what her mother had done. Jackie, desperate not to lose her daughter completely, organized a surprise gesture. She had Emma's childhood blanket, refurbished the one Emma hugged through every storm, and she left it at Emma's doorstep with a note: "For the nights I forgot to hold you." When Emma found it, the familiar softness caught her off guard. She pressed the blanket to her face, memories of slower times flooding back. Yet even as tears warmed her cheeks, anger pulsed beneath her skin. Could a scarf of memories undo the hurt of her mother's choices? She threw the blanket onto her bed and turned away. Uncertain whether she could welcome that comfort again, rumors outside the house deepened the rift. Paparazzi had caught Ryan visiting a lawyer's office, fueling speculation that he intended to sue for breach of promise. Jackie's phone buzzed with alerts. Ryan demands public apology and Jackie's daughter fights back. The family scrambled to manage the narrative. Jackie canceled appearances on daytime shows, hoping to keep the drama private. But producers smelled ratings gold and dangled the promise of a televised reconciliation. Emma balked. "I will not fix this for cameras," she declared, slamming the door on her mother's plea to reconsider. The divide between their realities seemed unveiled NADGEABLED in a twist no one saw coming. Ryan reached out to Emma with a handwritten letter. He slid it under her door late one night, the scented paper crisp in the lamplight. Emma unfolded it with trembling fingers. He wrote of regret and confusion, admitting he had acted selfishly, but insisting he still cared for Emma's happiness more than anything. He acknowledged Jackie's loneliness and apologized for being the means of her comfort. As Emma read, her anger wavered. The letter spoke of shared memories and the pain of betrayal, but also of hope for healing. Emma pressed the paper to her chest, torn between fury and compassion. The next morning, the house awoke to the smell of pancakes. Jackie, flour-dusted and shy, called Emma down for breakfast. The family gathered round the table, a fragile attempt at normalcy. Ryan hovered at the bottom of the stairs, uninvited but present, eyes cast downward. Breakfast passed in awkward silence until Emma cleared her throat. "I read your letter," she said quietly to Ryan. He looked up, hopeful, and she paused, heart pounding. "I believe you feel remorse, but I'm not ready to forgive." Ryan nodded solemnly, tears in his eyes. "I understand." Jackie watched the exchange, tears welling. The family was left divided, yet for the first time. The lines of communication opened wider than ever before. Later that afternoon, Emma took the blanket from her bed, folding it carefully. She carried it downstairs and found her mother in the garden tending wilted roses. Emma extended the blanket silently. Jackie's eyes widened. Emma's voice faltered. "I don't know when I'll let you back in," she said, "but I'm not throwing this away." Jackie reached for the blanket, hands shaking. "Thank you," she whispered. They stood there, mother and daughter, two fragile figures against the roses. Both wounded but connected by an unspoken vow to try. Emotions ran high in that small moment of truce, a flash of hope in the storm. As evening fell, the trio gathered. In the living room with Emma's father, they sat on the couch, the tension eased by the softness of the blanket draped between them. Ryan remained silent, but his presence spoke volumes. Accountability lived alongside regret. Jackie took Emma's hand and Emma accepted it, though her grip was cautious. Champagne remained unopened on the coffee table, a celebration deferred. Outside, fans debated whether this family could survive such a scandal. But inside, a quiet determination took hold. None knew what tomorrow would bring, but in that heart-still moment, a fragile promise bloomed. The path to healing would be long and thorny, but they would walk it together. The days that followed the breakfast truce felt eerily calm, but the calm was just a veneer, hiding the undercurrent of tension. Whispers circulated that Ryan had filed a restraining order against Jackie, claiming emotional distress from the confrontation. The paperwork arrived on the family's doorstep. Jackie held it with trembling hands as Emma watched, heart pounding. "He's gone too far," Jackie murmured, eyes brimming. Emma crossed the room. In a few strides, snatching the papers. "You don't need this," she said fiercely. "We'll fight it." Emotions ran high as father insisted they consult a lawyer, while Jackie pleaded for privacy. The family was left divided once more as legal threats turned their personal pain into a public spectacle. Meanwhile, school hallways became rumor mills. Classmates whispered that Emma was acting out because her mother was dating her ex, while others saw Emma as the hero standing up for her heart. Emma's best friend, Maya, cornered her between lockers one afternoon. "Are you okay?" Maya asked, voice low. Emma leaned against the cool metal, eyes red. "I'm tired of being the headline," she confessed. "I just want my mom back." Maya squeezed her hand. "We'll do whatever it takes," she vowed. Fans are shocked at how quickly private family drama slipped into teenage gossip. And the strain showed on Emma's face as she struggled to focus on algebra while her world unraveled. Jackie retreated into therapy sessions, unburdening years of loneliness and regret. She cried on the counselor's couch as she recounted how she'd lost herself after her divorce, leaving a gap that Ryan's kindness had filled. "I know it was wrong," she sobbed, "but I felt alive again." The counselor guided her to explore boundaries and the impact on Emma's trust. Sessions ended with assignments to rebuild honesty, daily check-ins with Emma, and writing letters of apology. Back home, Jackie sat at the kitchen table, pen in hand, crafting a letter for Emma. "I know I broke your heart," she wrote, "and I've hurt you more than I can say." She folded the paper and left it on Emma's pillow, hoping vulnerability could bridge the chasm between them. Ryan, meanwhile, faced a backlash from his own friends. His best friend Dan confronted him at a downtown coffee shop. "You're suing your rebound," Dawn demanded, slamming a mug on the table. "This is messed up." Ryan ran a hand through his hair. "I'm angry," he replied, voice hollow. "I never meant to turn her world upside down." Dan leaned forward, then dropped the case. "Prove you're not just another headline." Ryan stared at his latte, foam swirling. "I don't know who I am anymore," he admitted. The men sat in silence, the weight of their actions looming like storm clouds. Fans are shocked that Ryan would turn to the courts instead of heart, and his indecision painted him as both villain and victim in the media's eyes. At home, Emma found her mother in the hallway, carefully disappearing the stack of legal papers. Emma's voice trembled. "You're going to fight him?" she asked. Jackie looked up, eyes red. "I have to," she said. "I can't let him dictate my life." Emma folded her arms. "Then fight, but don't fight me." Jackie nodded, tears falling. "You're my priority." The moment hung in the bittersweet space between apology and defiance, two people bound by blood, struggling to redefine their relationship under the glare of public scrutiny. In the living room, Jackie and Emma sat among broken glass, phone lines severed by anger and fear. Father's car pulled into the driveway, and his face appeared in the doorway, lined with concern. He stepped inside, seeing his family broken both literally and figuratively. "What happened?" he asked, voice gentle. Emma looked at her mother, meeting her tear-stained face. "I found out," she said softly. "She was dating Ryan." The words struck like thunder, and Father's arms wrapped around them both. In that embrace, the three of them trembled, united by pain, yet separated by the sharp edges of betrayal. And so part of the healing began not with grand declarations, but with shared silence among broken pieces. Emma's father fetched a broom and swept the shattered glass into a dustpan, each glint of crystal a reminder of the fragility beneath their feet. Jackie sat beside Emma, brushing a sympathetic hand over her daughter's hair. They exchanged a look that spoke of sorrow and the faintest glimmer of resolve. They would face the storm together. But the road ahead stretched uncertain, paved with the heavy burden of public whispers and the private ache of trust undone. In that moment, they knew the journey toward forgiveness would test them in ways they could not yet imagine, and the scars, both physical and emotional, would shape the chapters of their story for years to come. And now you've seen how a mother's secret longing tangled with her daughter's past love, sparking a confrontation so intense it turned physical, and left a family scrambling to pick up the pieces. Jackie's hidden romance with Ryan, once her daughter's first heartbreak, Kay became a powder keg of guilt and fury when Emma uncovered whispered phone calls and crossed boundaries. Emotions ran high as a whispered confession in the living room gave way to a push that sent Jackie crashing into the coffee table, shattering more than just glass. The family was left divided between empathy for a lonely mother seeking connection and outrage over a daughter's trust betrayed. We witnessed the silence that followed the crash, broken photo frames, the thud of a father's car as he rushed home, and the realization that their private pain was already splashed across social media. Fans are shocked by the raw vulnerability, by Emma's tears as she confronted her mom, and by Jackie's trembling apologies amid shards of crystal. We saw loyalty torn as neighbors and classmates weighed in, turning living room confessions into headlines. And we watched as Jackie and Emma faced a choice: let this scandal tear them apart, or find a path toward honesty and healing, no matter how messy. So what do you think? Did Jackie have a right to seek comfort after loss, even if it meant risking her daughter's trust? Was Emma justified in demanding the truth, even when it got physical? Can a bond fractured by betrayal be mended with apologies and open conversations? Or are some lines never meant to be crossed? And now that every secret is out in the open, who will step up to rebuild what's been broken? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. Distract them both. Emma's father booked a weekend retreat at a lakeside cabin, insisting on a digital detox. Cell phones went silent as the family drove away from the city, the air growing crisper as they climbed winding roads. At the cabin, surrounded by pine trees, Emma and Jackie found themselves hesitantly laughing over charades and board games. Dan, who'd joined to support Ryan but stayed on as family ally, roasted marshmallows with father under a starlit sky. Oceans ran high when a stray text forced the phone screens to light up. Ryan had dropped the lawsuit. The news hit them like a wave of relief and confusion. Fans are shocked at his sudden change of heart, they tweeted. And the family felt a flicker of hope that perhaps this chapter could close. With the lawsuit dropped, Jackie and Emma sat on a dock that evening, feet dangling above rippling water. Jackie reached for Emma's hand. "I'm proud of you," she said softly. Emma hesitated, then entwined her fingers with her mother's. "I'm proud of you too," she whispered. The siblings snapped a candid photo, laughter lighting their faces, and sent it to Maya with the caption, "Chapter closed." But as the camera flashed, Emma noticed Jackie's hand shaking. She squeezed it comfortingly, aware that healing often came in small, imperfect steps. The family was left divided no more, replaced by a fragile unity tested by fire. The next morning, a final twist emerged. An anonymous blog posted a purported diary entry from Emma's ex, Ryan, claiming his relationship with Jackie had been orchestrated to secure social status. The entry read as a cold conspiracy. "She opens doors I could never dream of. I am nothing without her." Shockwaves rippled through their close-knit circle. Emma's father slammed his fist on the breakfast table. "This can't be true," he roared. Jackie's face paled. Emma's heart twisted. "Where did they get this?" she asked, voice trembling. The diary post included a blurred photo of a hand holding a fountain pen. Could it be Ryan's hand? Or someone else's? Fans are shocked at the possibility of yet another betrayal, and doubt threatened to flood back into the cabin's warmth. Walls.Jackie insisted they confront Ryan directly. Soon they found themselves circled around his living room couch, the anonymous diary printout between them. Ryan held up his hands. "I didn't write that," he said. "I'm no mastermind." His eyes flicked to father, then to Emma. "Someone wants to keep us at war." The group fell silent, realization dawning that an unseen player might be twisting their pain for a twisted thrill. Emotions ran high as suspicion turned outward. Who could be manipulating their family feud for attention? Under the cabin's skylight, amidst the crackle of a dying fire and the calls of distant loons, they made a pact to protect their truth together, to support one another against any further schemes. Jackie hugged Emma tightly, the comfort of that embrace a promise against the chaos outside. As dawn painted the lake in gold, they understood that real betrayal came when they doubted each other. And real strength came when they stood together. And though the road ahead remained uncertain, in that moment they were not just mother and daughter, but allies forged in fire, ready to face whatever sensational twist came next. The tension had been simmering for weeks, though nobody knew it. until Emma woke one morning to the faint buzz of her mother's phone echoing through the hallway. Jackie had always prided herself on being a warm, devoted mom, the kind of woman who baked cookies on Thursday afternoons and stitched patches on her daughter's favorite jeans without a second thought. But recently, there had been stolen glances. At her phone, a new perfume scent drifting in the kitchen at odd hours, and late-night footsteps when everyone else was asleep. On that morning, Emma crept out of her room, heart pounding in her chest, curiosity and dread warring as she followed. The sound to the open living room door. Fans are shocked to learn what she overheard. Jackie murmuring a familiar name, Ryan. The boy Emma's own heart had once cradled gently in the months after her first heartbreak, in the soft glow of the television screen. Emma froze as Jackie's voice trembled, saying, "I miss you, Ryan." Her grip tightened on the doorframe, mind racing through every memory she shared with Ryan. The shy first kiss under the willow tree, the shared sundresses and Sunday morning pancakes. Never had. She imagined her mother slipping quietly into his arms as though reclaiming a youth that belonged to her daughter's past. Emma's breath caught when Jackie chuckled softly, a sound that echoed as a betrayal in Emma's ears. Emotions ran high as she felt her stomach twist in knots. The family was left divided long before anyone else knew. Emma's quiet heartbreak set a shadow over her father's weekday coffee and her mother's hopeful smiles rather than confront Jackie immediately. Emma retreated to her sanctuary, the sunlit corner of her bedroom cluttered with sketchbooks and art supplies. She dialed her best friend Maya with shaking fingers. "You're not going to believe what I just heard," she whispered, voice cracking. Maya's reply, a single breathless "what?" arrived through the speaker. Emma replayed the recording. She'd hastily captured, pressing her phone closer to her ear as Jackie's voice filled the quiet room. "That's your mom," Maya said finally, disbelief and outrage lacing each word. "You have to confront her." But Emma hesitated. This was not a schoolyard spat over stolen lipstick. This was her mother, the woman she loved most, crossing a line that left Emma feeling exposed and alone. That evening, the living room transformed into a makeshift battleground. Jackie sat on the sofa, leafing through an old photo album, oblivious to Emma's approach. The soft page turns felt like the calm before a storm. Emma marched in, phone in hand, cheeks aflame. "Mom," she began, voice low but firm. Jackie looked up, surprise flashing across her face. "Emma," what she started, but Emma held up her phone, the recording blaring Jackie's words through the hush. "Explain this," Emma demanded, eyes fierce. Jackie's face drained of color. "This isn't what it sounds like," she stammered, but Emma pressed play again until the snippet of Jackie whispering Ryan's name filled the room. The dam of secrets burst, and emotions ran high as mother and daughter faced the raw truth. Jackie stood, voice trembling. "I needed someone," she confessed, tears glistening in her eyes. "Your dad has been working so much, and I've felt lonely." Emma's heart clenched. She understood loneliness, but this felt like betrayal. "You could have talked to me," Emma shot back. "I would have listened." The accusation hung in the air, each word a drop of acid. "Ah!" Jackie took a shaky step forward, arms outstretched. "Emma, please," she pleaded, but Emma recoiled. The raw pain etched into Emma's face made Jackie hesitate, her own guilt threatening to overwhelm her. In that silent stretch, the weight of unspoken bonds and broken trust pressed down on them both. The confrontation reached its breaking point when Jackie, in a desperate move, lunged forward to take back her phone. Emma, driven by a mix of grief and anger, jerked her arm away, and Jackie stumbled. Her ankle caught the corner of the coffee table, sending her crashing into the low glass top. The table shuddered, drinks toppled, and Emma's breath hitched as Jackie landed hard with a sharp gasp. A water glass shattered behind her, fragments scattering across the plush rug. For a heartbeat, time froze. Then Jackie's hand went to her hip, and Emma saw a bright red mark where her own elbow had connected. The sight of her mother in pain made Emma's stomach flip. No amount of anger could absolve the ache that welled inside her now. Amid the shards of glass and the flickering TV screen, silence claimed the room. Jackie's shallow breaths filled Emma's ears as she knelt beside, her panic overtaking rage. "Mom, I'm sorry. I didn't mean," she whispered, but Jackie placed a trembling hand on Emma's cheek. She said softly, voice thick with emotion, "I'm the one who hurt you." Tears began to stream down both their faces, mixing grief and shame. Fans are shocked by the intensity of the moment, the daughter's anger colliding with the mother's regret in a single physical blow. The family was left divided as the closeness they once shared lay fractured on the floor among broken glass. In the hush that followed, Emma helped Jackie to her feet, supporting her arm as they moved to the hallway. The echo of cracks and distant sirens seemed to underscore their bruised hearts. Emma guided her mother to a chair, tears flowing freely. "I don't know how to fix this," Emma sobbed. Jackie took both Emma's hands in her own voice, small but resolute. "We start with honesty," she whispered. "Nothing else matters until we're honest with each other." Emma nodded, though every fiber of her being trembled with uncertainty. Could honesty heal a wound that had cut so deeply? Or would the memory of that moment, hands raised, bodies bruised, forever shadow their bond? The next morning, the private pain spilled into the public eye. A neighbor's Ring cam had captured blurry footage of Jackie's fall and the raised voices through the window. Within hours, gossip blogs exploded with headlines. Reality TV mom scandal turns violent and daughter's claim. Ex-romance leads to family feud. Emma's phone buzzed relentlessly with notifications, classmates sending links, strangers commenting on photos of the shattered coffee table. The weight of two worlds, the intimate pain of mother and daughter, and the harsh glare of public scrutiny elapsed on Emma's shoulders. She pressed her palm to her forehead, overwhelmed by the sense that her most private betrayal had become everyone's spectacle.